All right, thanks guys for your thoughts. Remember, we want to know your thoughts too. Tweet at us with the hashtag RLCS. You can tweet at RLCS for your tweet to potentially appear on the stream. That being said, let's get the last match of the day. We got Wave Punk and Final Carpet standing by. Take it away, guys.
Thanks so much, Axel Toss. I'm here, Final Carpet, and we have no idea what's going on anything because all the teams that are not supposed to win are winning because Rocket League's great and the scene is very, very complicated and everybody's just getting really good here. And what's going to happen? What's your prediction?
I want to say that since this is Selfless's last game to play for League play, they are going to give this everything they have. I mean, this is it. And next week, all they can do is watch. I would actually hate to be Selfless right now. All they can do next week is just watch everybody either throw, play phenomenally, play like garbage, whatever that's going to happen next week. They don't want to be in a place where they potentially watch themselves go step by step by step and seed until all of a sudden they're out, right? I don't know if it's possible for them at this point. They have a really good record. And I think there are just some teams that really can't catch up to them at this point. But either way, I think they're going to come and give it their all. I predicted a reverse sweep earlier and was horrendously wrong. So that means I'm actually not allowed to predict reverse sweeps anymore. So goodbye to that.
You can predict whatever you want.
I'm going with Selfless.
Selfless.
I'm going with Selfless. I can't tell if I want to go against a tilted angry NRG because that sounds actually worse.
That sounds awful.
I think I'd rather go against an NRG that feels like they're going to win because then I'll make mistakes. But an angry NRG, no.
It's so hard. There's no I thought I knew things and then I didn't know things. And NRG
Welcome to Rocket League North America.
Right. The one thing that might, I don't know, the way that Genesis was playing, NRG could have just been like, what is happening here? We don't know what to do with this. You know, we're Selfless as a team that has been consistently kind of the same thing for 2 seasons now, and NRG has had the opportunity to play multiple times over the course of months now. And if there's a team that they could take, I think it could be the same sort of situation like we saw in Europe where a team drops to a lower team and then comes back and beats a team that they weren't supposed to beat. In this situation, this is much less of an upset sort of scenario. Like NRG and Selfless, these are 2 teams that we're considering in the running for the top 2 teams that we expect to do very well. Either one of these could win and it wouldn't be a surprise. So I expect NRG to bounce back, to show up in a way that we did not see them in the last match playing. But still, as far as pick'ems go, who knows? I don't. NRG, fun fact, I think that last match was the very first time in RLCS history we have had 2 players joining Batmobile on the same team.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Like, we don't really keep statistics on that, but I pay a lot of attention to what the cars people drive are, and I'm pretty sure that was the first time I've ever seen that. My question is are they going to stick with it? Because I have never actually seen Jacob on Batmobile in RLCS play that. I remember it's probably happened, but I don't remember it. So I would kind of expect to see him going back to his breakout.
Yeah, he's usually not in the Batmobile, I assume. I mean, Fireburner's been in it for the longest time, and just to kind of precedent the difference between the 2 cars, because there's no, intrinsic, this car is better. It's not that direct. It's essentially the height of the car, the way the hitbox is shaped, and your turn radius, which at this point have all been mainstreamed into pretty much the same turn radius. So you're looking at more the shape of the car.
Right.
And a lot of people prefer the flat cars because the graphical representation of the car resembles the hitbox a lot closer. So it's easy for your brain and your hands to kind of make the connection of where am I hitting this ball and how. Whereas you look at a car like the Octane, which is actually pretty popular. It's taller, so you get different interactions with 50-50s and dribbling, but the hitbox is actually, it's still a box.
Right.
So it doesn't really match the exact shape of the car.
Right. If you see the new Ice Charger is actually technically, while looking significantly longer than the Dominus, is the exact same box as the Dominus, exact same hitbox as the Dominus. It's not something that generally you will ever notice affecting your play, but it can make things fun. Players will switch it up. We'll see. Jacob did in fact switch back to his breakout, so we will see if that makes the difference here. NRG in the orange, Selfless in the blue. Dapper going to score right off the bat off of kind of a mistake there from Fireburner.
It almost seemed like a frame lag in his brain. Like he didn't know what to do. He saw Timmy going for him, but then he was forced to go up on the wall instead of underneath because he wanted the hard clear angle. But when your car goes up that weird corner spot, it does a lot of weird stuff, and it slowed him down. He didn't jump off the wall, and he couldn't get there in time, and it was just a little push in from Dapper.
Yep, Selfless comes into this week immediately scoring, making a name for themselves, and NRG looking to respond right off of kickoff. So they can tie it back up. Do not find the back of the net, but they still have ball control here in the blue. Nice play past Miho. And Dapper will put it into the corner. Garrett G taking a shot towards the net, and Timmy saves it away. Back across and into the orange corner. Jacob now up on the wall. Dapper will play it down, and Fireburner going to look to pass to Jacob, who is far upfield. Garrett G onto the backboard. So if he can win this 50-50, Miho pushes it through, but then Jacob coming in from the back to try and keep this offensive going here for NRG. There's Fireburner wrapping that one around. Garrett tries to take the shot, does not make it through the Selfless defense, and that'll give Timmy ball control.
Pretty comfortable defense from Selfless as of yet. Nothing they've had to really strain for. I think one really off the backboard miss has happened, but nothing followed that up now. But they have had a lot of possession in their half, though, so it all takes is one tiny mistake, and NRG will hopefully capitalize.
Timmy out to Miho towards the backboard. Jacob will try and push it through. Miho now continuing to hit towards the backboard, but Spider defense coming through for NRG right now as they trail by 1. 3:25 left on the clock in game number 1 of our last series of the day here for the North American RLCS. And the last series of league play for Selfless as they look to go out with a bang, try and do everything they can to secure that top 2 spot. Miho finds the back of the net again, and it's 2-0 Selfless.
NRG clumping up a bit here. Jacob stayed on that back wall, even though Fireburner probably had a slightly better touch, but he was too far, so I don't blame Jacob for going up for that, but it centers it perfectly for a player as quick to the ball as Miho is, and it was an easy shot for him. Now 2-0 up with 3 minutes left.
Miho over to the side. Able to play that one down. Fireburner coming up from the back, out towards Garrett. A nice aerial pass. And that touch on the wall will pinch all the way back towards the net where Jacob is waiting. It was kind of the rough clear from Jacob that lofted it for Miho there on that second goal. Now look to redeem himself here, moving this one up, taking a shot towards the net. Good placement, but blocked away by Timmy. Garrett G in with a follow-up, though, finds the far post, and that is NRG on the board.
Jacob's shot did its job. It pulled out Timmy and Dapper, both slightly panicking for that. As I said, they've been pretty calm so far on defense, but all it takes is that one moment to feel pressured. 2 defenders go up for it, and it leaves an open shot for Garrett. While it was a wide angle for him, those are easy for someone like him.
We are approaching halftime here. NRG only down by 1, a very manageable deficit. As Garrett looks to set this one up to Jacob, puts it on the backboard. Timmy does not make contact, but Miho is able to read that touch, bounce it out. Now Dapper looking to dribble. Jacob takes it off of his hood and puts it back into the corner. Fireburner looking for the pinch, but cannot get it past Miho, who gets it past Garrett as well. That'll leave it for Dapper. Puts it into the midfield. Timmy comes up, but then falls back, seeing the inbound Jacob, knowing he was going to shoot. Gets the save. Now it is NRG threatening once more. Timmy picks it up off the wall. And Garrett G up in from the back. It's only Dapper in the back right now. Soft touch in the midfield. But gets it past Jacob. Fireburner to Garrett. And now to Jacob again. The passing plays from NRG. It gave them ball control, but nobody wanted to follow up. Now they'll come in off of the clear from Dapper. Jacob onto the backboard, uncontested. Miho gets the second touch as it bounces off. Fireburner misses the touch as Timmy also was airborne there. With 1:38 left to go, NRG still down by 1 with opportunities to score, but not able to piece it together just yet. A demo onto Jacob and a bump onto Fireburner gave Miho an opportunity, but he is not able to capitalize. Fireburner will send this one out into midfield.
It was a 3v2 for a short opportunity, but Fireburner followed that through and kept his car behind it, making sure to get the contest, to get it 50-50, hopefully in his favor. But can Timmy get a flick? Fireburner, no!
Oh my goodness, Timmy just absolutely brutalizing them here.
I am so surprised. Fireburner had this save, but he backflipped instead. Oh, he's got to be beating himself up over that. If they lose the first game in this series, it cannot feel good after losing last series.
No.
And I think this is exactly what Selfless was hoping would fall into their hands.
Oh, the Fields backflip there from Fireburner. They're now down by 2 in the final minute. Need a goal quickly. Give them room to equalize. Fireburner's gotten it past 2, and here comes the shot from Garrett. It does not go in. It goes wide. And Jacob will keep the pressure on. Lofting this one above. Fireburner in. We'll finish that one off, making up for the mistake he made on defense. This one is still within NRG's grasp.
Keeping it a 1-goal game in that hard angle from Jacob again, with no one on that backboard. This is why you almost always see someone getting those Spider-Man clears, because those are so hard to read. You saw Miho. We know he's a player that can do stuff like that. We know he can get those good reads, but from underneath the ball, it's just so hard to get the trajectory in your head and the pace.
Oh, this is an opportunity. Fireburner in the air, but Timmy gets there first and clears away the shot. Garrett G onto the backboard once more, and Jacob in. That's 3 players committed on the offense, or on the defense for Selfless, but Fireburner misses in the midfield. And that'll leave it open for Jacob, and Selfless will have time to reset. 30 seconds remaining. They're only down by 1. NRG only needs 1 goal to send this to overtime. But right now, struggling with the touches. Try and play that one out. Get a pass to Garrett G, now passing up towards the backboard. Dapper will send it to the corner. Jacob rather will turn around quickly. They've gotten a pass too. It's only Timmy in the back, but a bump on the players in the midfield will make it very difficult for NRG to score. They're now resigned to keeping this ball in the air. They're doing a good job moving it downfield. Jacob to try and pinch it, but he puts it over to the side. And this ball most likely going to touch the ground. There it will go. Selfless takes game number 1. And NRG in a difficult position. Are they going to do their gold rush spin? No, they didn't go for it. Selfless usually has a pretty coordinated celebration there.
This is exactly what Selfless was really hoping would go on in the first game.
Yep.
Set the momentum in their favor. It's their last series. Ladies and gentlemen, in group stage, we will not get to see Selfless after today until the regional playoffs, which means this is their last time to prove to everyone they're going against, themselves, and all of us as viewers and casters, that they can do this and that they deserve to be in the top.
Yep.
I mean, NRG really has been a bit sluggish. Going from last series to this series, they seem to be a little more connected now, but they seem to be reaching a little bit too much, and they almost seem like they're grasping for straws at times. And Fireburner, uncharacteristically, has been struggling to even make contact sometimes.
Yeah, every week 2 teams have a bye, which includes the last week, which means that we had 2 teams today finishing. It was Set to Destroy and Selfless. Interesting to see that they're on kind of the opposite ends of the story spectrum right now, as we saw Set to Destroy dropping to 0-7 and having Selfless here hoping to improve to, I believe, 5-2 would be their final scoreline. So it would be great to see if they're able to pull that off. It would make things very exciting next week if we're going to have we could potentially have again a 3-way tie for first place.
Thanks, North American Rocket League.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. It'll be exciting either way. It'll probably come down to the last game. So definitely be tuning in next week. But right now, with today, this game, NRG is now down by 1, and they want to tie that back up here in game number 2. So we move on to Manfield.
Wave, you think we're going to see a game 5, Wave?
I think so. I hope so. Just make it exciting for me. Fireburner over to Jacob. A nice pass back to Fireburner. Tries to keep it in the midfield, but Miho will play it away, and Timmy will follow up. They'll move down the field. Selfless now up on offense as Jacob lofts it high, draws up 2 players with him, but Miho gets all of it. We'll send it over to the side. Fireburner, pass 2. There's no one in the back. Is there anybody else? Take the shot, but Timmy, what? The shot from Fireburner was not even on target. If he had just shot to the far post away from Timmy, he could have had a goal.
Yeah, he didn't have the angle to get the momentum to the right-hand side, but still, as you said, not even on target. I mean, at that point, at least put the pressure on him and try and put it into the net. Fireburner, I don't know what's up with him today, but he really seems off his game.
Dapper lofting that one in front of the net. Miho up to try and shoot, but Fireburner will clear it away. Now Garrett G and Jacob moving upfield very quickly. Can he double tap this one? Drops it straight down. Great play from Jacob. That's NRG with the lead.
We've seen these highlights from Jacob so many times, and he must be happy to bring it out in a series that means so much. Following that up and getting a tight angle. He even nicked the crossbar on the way down. It hit it, but it still had enough momentum to go into the net.
And that hex decal that Jacob's rocking looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like one of those. Dapper going to pop this one high. Garrett moving up to play this one downfield. It'll be Jacob in the air over the top of Miho. Garrett over to Fireburner. The 3-man pass, but Jacob and Fireburner, one of them didn't get the memo on what was going on. They both went for that play. It's just Garrett in the back right now, and he needs to fall back quickly, buy some time. Does exactly what he needs to. Gets the save, takes it away from Dapper, able to move it around to the corner as well, and buy his teammates plenty of time to get sorted out on defense.
Timmy, Dapper, and Miho, they are such a threat when they come up together. So right now, NRG has to try and keep that ball away from them as much as possible. Jacob's doing a solid amount of solo plays and a good amount of unique passing. And actually, Dapper and Jacob both just demoed each other.
They demoed each other. We had a 2v2 game for 3 seconds there.
You don't see that very often.
Miho, try and play that one out. Oh dear, this one's going a long distance. Is Timmy there? He is. It was off target anyways, so he'll play it into the corner. And this ball going to fall out towards Fireburner. Jacob gets demoed deep in enemy territory, which means he spawns back on the defense, but Fireburner doesn't need any help. It's 2-0 NRG.
There's the small ego boost Fireburner needed. I mean, just sometimes when you see your name, just scream across that screen saying Fireburner scored. Sometimes that's all you need to really waken up and remember, like, all right, I can do this. I can take these shots. So that one was on target, and he outpaced 2 defenders as well. 2-0 up in this. They're looking very well to tie this up.
Oh, my goodness. Another nice shot there from Fireburner. Miho was far enough back. Good defensive positioning. He's gotten it past 2 players, but Garrett G puts it into the corner. Dapper trapped this one around as Fireburner falls back quickly. Timmy to Dapper out into the midfield, and Fireburner is there before Miho can finish it off. And Jacob will move up. Garrett in the midfield looking for an opportunity. He goes airborne, but Dapper wins the 50-50 down into the corner. Jacob now. They'll get tangled up on the wall, which takes Dapper decently out of play. He's now falling back. Jacob with the mind games around Miho to try and pass this one back down to Fireburner, but Fireburner's not there. He just peeled away. Garrett G in with the shot. What a capitalization.
Sneaky, sneaky. Garrett finds his way somehow in the midst of the entire Selfless defense. Dapper and Timmy both trying to play each other, but getting in each other's way. Dapper smashes Timmy out while Garrett comes in for a shot. 3-0, really trying to take away this game.
That triple commitment on offense from NRG, one of the big benefits is that teams are not going to expect you to do that, especially when you see Fireburner and Jacob right there on top of each other. All the attention is going to be on those 2 players, and it's easy to not see Garrett G sneaking up there and with that kind of screen he had in front of him of Jacob and Fireburner. So that 3-0 now for NRG as they have got a substantial lead here in game number 2, looking to tie up the series at a game apiece. Fireburner playing it away. The shot from Miho was strong, but straight to him. Now Dapper in. A nice shot there as well. Drops bar down, and that's going to be a goal for Selfless.
You picked that up from Leaf, didn't you?
I've heard a lot of people say bar down.
Bar down. Dapper, though. I mean, the fact that he had no idea. That goal was nowhere on his screen when he was going up for that shot. He used all of his intuition for that, having an idea of where the goal is, using his positioning on the field. Fantastic shot from him, but still 2 goals left to tie this up.
1:52 left on the clock. Right now, Selfless. They're falling back on defense. They need to be able to move this one out. Still down by 2, as you said. Garrett G in the corner. It's a bit loose, but so was the Selfless team. And they will let this one push back out and keep NRG's offensive pressure going here. Miho going to try and play this one through, but Garrett G gets the pinch over to Dapper. And now that one, oh my goodness, past Jacob. Fireburner has to play this one awkwardly off the wall, so as does Jacob there, to try and get it away from Selfless, who is pressuring up now, especially 2 people up on the offense. Dangerous situation. Miho has to play it over to the side. Timmy will dribble this one past very smoothly past Fireburner there, and now away from Jacob. Timmy doing all the work, and now Miho with the shot towards Dapper. Garrett G gets the save. It was a beautiful offensive opportunity, but shut down here by NRG, and now they are back up on offense.
They really want to keep this lead, and I really like seeing the passing plays from both of these teams. Selfless in particular, that was one of the prettier plays we've seen them just all working together. A fantastic, nearly double dribble between Timmy and Dapper, passing the short pass.
Oh, what's Fireburner doing here? He's going to loop around and engage Timmy with a long end of his car. Now Jacob in the air misses that one, but lets Garrett G pull this one out. Fireburner will take up the defensive positioning. He moves up, lets Jacob rotate in behind him. With 30 seconds remaining, it's up to Selfless. They need to score right here. So close, but it goes high. Miho in with the final shot. Does it go all the way? It does. With 16 seconds left, they have the opportunity to tie the game, Carpet.
16 seconds and potential as much time as they can keep the ball up. They can tie. They've at least given themselves the opportunity. Well played as well, trying to outpace NRG, which has been possible today as we've seen them a little bit sluggish to the ball at times. But they're going to want to keep this lead.
15 seconds remaining. Can Selfless tie this up and send us to overtime? Now the ball's in their back corner, but Miho going to follow this one out. Fireburner plays it over the top. A demo onto Jacob gives them a momentary power play. Timmy moving this one up onto the backboard. They're going to try. 2 defenders, 1 up. They miss. Jacob in the corner plays it to the side. Timmy puts it back into the box, and Miho is there, but Garrett G making full contact. Fireburner plays it past the last offender, and NRG dodges a bullet, takes the win in game 2.
They have now tied up the series. It is 1-1. NRG losing the first game to Selfless. And remember, Selfless has the last opportunity in league play to earn any points. It's now tied up. You said game 5. I think it'll be game 5. I mean, just by the chaos of today, I'm giving it to Selfless in my head already. Mostly so that I can only take so many surprises in a single day. If I get caught off guard again,
sure,
I might just fall over in my chair. And
I mean, then this is the game. This one and the Take 3 versus Genesis game are the 2 games that I was like, either way it could go. I'm not really surprised by either result. So I could easily see this going either way. I've always been a big Selfless fan.
Yeah.
These are really cool guys to watch play, especially the way they showed up after Season 1 and just started dominating everything. They were called Momentum back then, and everybody was like, who are these kids, and where do they come from, and how are they beating all of our old gods just into the ground with their fists? And they've shown up here in the running for the top 3, top 2 teams right now, and I'm excited to see if they can make it here in their final game of league play. But NRG is making them work for it here as we go into Game 3.
We see NRG slowly, very slowly, getting into the energy we're used to seeing. The passing plays, the really hard hits. You know, Fireburner always on that grounded third-person position to get the clears he needs to get the passes
with crazy touches all over the place.
Jacob's had a couple of crazy touches, but a little more quiet than usual. We usually see a lot more out of Jacob, whether it just be unique touches or even just having ball control. But I think after going against Genesis, who just shut them down with just massively paced Rocket League, I think they had to stop slowing down the ball.
Fireburner with an early shot blocked away by Dapper. And Garrett G at midfield will take another follow-up shot. This one's going to roll around and in. Takes 3 bounces, but it makes it very quick goal here for NRG.
Oh, talking about build momentum early. Garrett waiting for the perfect bounce. Oh, that was well placed. Timmy had time for that, actually. He was in net. Maybe he was a little lackluster on boost. But those are hard to read as well. I'm thinking for it to hit the crossbar and still hit the post and still go in.
Yeah, I believe it was Timmy that had made the save on the touch from Fireburner, the early shot from Fireburner, so that definitely meant he was very low on boost. Not much he could do there. And just the immediate secondary shot that was almost identical to the shot from Fireburner, making things very difficult on defense for Selfless as they find themselves down by 1 within the first 10 seconds. The first goal went in at 4:51, 9 seconds into the game. And now Dapper with a shot downfield. Fireburner over to the side. Will be Jacob coming off the wall. Playing this one through. Can he get another touch? Does not make contact, and Timmy's able to put it all the way into the corner. Garrett G now trying to play it out. Fireburner as well to play it downfield. Now Garrett G in the air. Interesting, I wouldn't call it a pinch, but it was more like a 50-50 situation. Jacob tries to do it all by himself. Garrett up in the air will loft it high, and Jacob, don't do this. Oh my goodness. That would have been the most ridiculous angle I had ever seen, coming out of his opponent's net to hit it back.
Selfless expected him to get it. You saw him all sitting and waiting for Jacob to get the touch. Just shows how much respect they all give each other, especially a player like Jacob who does some of the weirdest stuff in game.
Yeah, he's the one player that you really cannot ever assume he's not going to make the ridiculous touch. We've seen him do it before. Now this ball at midfield. Garrett G, the shot onto the open net. Is it in? It is wide. And Miho will be able to pick up ball control, immediately going for the counterplay. Looks for the pass towards Timmy, but does not make contact, and it goes wide of the goal. Now Dapper. He's lofted in the back, looking for an opportunity. A nice placement there. Timmy's shot goes just wide. And Jacob to play that one over to Fireburner. They are now moving this one back down the field. And what a touch there off of the wall to send it towards the goal. But Dapper had it read, able to get that one away. Still just 1-0. Can Timmy make it tied up? So close. It'll be Jacob flying it back. This ball is moving, I think, at an average of like 100 kilometers per hour right now. Such fast play from both sides.
Oh, yeah. And they're just trying to just outpace each other, which just increases the speed every single second. They realize they have to try and predict these balls, be 2 steps ahead. But it seems like accuracy really has plagued every single series today. We've seen at least probably 2, maybe 3 shots.
Oh my goodness.
What?
That was ugly. So you're talking about inaccuracy. Here comes the shot downfield. Miho passes to Dapper, who takes the shot and it goes wide, but just bounces off the post. And then poor Fireburner just in the wrong place.
Yeah, I don't think that was actually going to go in.
No, I think he absolutely put it in.
I think it was going to cross all the way to the other post, and then since it was going to hit the outside, it would have bounced outwards, or at least given them some time to save it.
Oh dear, Fireburner able to put that one in. So it looks like Timmy was immobile, making it kind of a 2-3 game. And now
trying to keep that
puts their lead back in.
A small problem with Timmy there. I wonder what's going on, but I hope he can fix that soon as Fireburner now tries to give them a 1-point lead. Remember, it's only 1-1 in the series, so it's still early on.
You have to win this game and one more to possibly have an opportunity to score. And there's Timmy moving again. He's back in. Fireburner to bounce this one around. And Timmy and Miho moving up together. Garrett gets it between 2 of them. And it's Lawton in a dangerous situation. Dangerous position there for Selfless as Timmy gets bumped. Dapper alone in net has to clear this away. Now Miho down the field. Oh dear. That was almost a second own goal from NRG as Jacob's touch goes wide. We are across halftime, and NRG still leading with the 1 goal. Jacob to try and make it 2 right here as it's lofted high. Fireburner backflips again, but Garrett G in the air. Can Jacob touch it? Oh, so close. It looks like Jacob might have. I believe it would have bounced higher than the goal, so he didn't block Garrett G's goal necessarily, trying to make another one himself, but close opportunity.
He also expected a goalie to be there to get a hard clear, so at that point he was more like, let's keep possession, even if this isn't going to go on target. We're going to hopefully get another shot from the goal. But we've seen Selfless a lot of double contests, especially just ever since that last goal was scored. We've seen more than one player contesting a lot of balls on Selfless' side, so hoping they can kind of get that out, iron that out, and they can bring this to a tight game.
Fireburner lofts this one for Jacob, who takes the shot straight downtown, and Timmy not able to get back in time. It's a 2-goal lead for NRG.
Nope, I guess they can't. That was close. Both Miho coming off the wall for that. Ez Dapper contested underneath, and there it is again. I don't know, maybe they're a little frustrated from whatever happened to Timmy earlier when he wasn't mobile and they let in that kickoff goal. But I mean, it happens sometimes.
Yes.
Stuff happens on online play, and you just need to try and roll with it. So I'm hoping they can get their heads up and continue on, as it is still early in the series.
Oh, you just saw there again, kind of a double commitment on offense, or on defense rather. Dapper and Miho up on the wall in the Spider-Man position. You'll see him right here in the replay, bumping each other. Not what you want to see, because that just opened up so much space, made it so confusing for the last defender, and that makes it a 3-goal game.
Especially when Jacob's ready to pass. If there's anybody that's going to give you a weird pass to deal with, it's probably going to be the Cobb. He passed it out to Fireburner, and they're really just taking the series out. It is now 4-1 with a minute left. I suspect NRG is going to be up 2-1 in this series by the end of this game. But if today has shown me anything, it's to not write anything off.
Don't write anything off here, especially a team named Selfless. These guys...
All right, it's time to write something off.
We can write off game number 3. I believe game number 3 is absolutely in the books here, but Selfless needed to take a deep breath, take a step back. What were we doing in game 1? What were we doing throughout much of game 2 as well that we could possibly take into our game number 4 to send it to that game 5, the decisive game 5? They really do need to just take a step back, take that break, and approach game 4 as a fresh slate.
Yeah, maybe hopefully they were watching the Genesis game and to realize that if you can just outpace NRG, they don't really know how to connect and work together as a team.
That's what Timmy was doing. He's like, hold on, you guys, we're not going to win this game. I'm going to go watch the VOD real fast.
He was checking it out. He's like, all right, this game's done.
What was NRG, what was Genesis doing here? Let's do that.
What a weird situation. Timmy's going to say the game's done in a tie series.
Yeah, no. That would hopefully not be what was happening. We're going to try and wrap this one around at this point. Just keep the ball away from NRG. Don't let them Brazil you here in game 3. But as our timer does tick down.
It's funny that becomes a secondary objective.
It does, right?
Once you're really losing, it's like, well, we didn't really lose if we didn't get Brazil.
I think I've talked about this on broadcast before, how I'd like to run like a Brazil tournament, where if you get close to a Brazil, if you can keep a team, if you're like within 1 goal of getting a Brazil, if you don't get the Brazil, you lose. And if you get a Brazil and the other team manages to break the Brazil, you also lose. So you would have to like defend both goals if you got to a Brazil or something like that.
Wow.
It would make it to where like teams that are like really underskilled could still possibly win against other teams. I don't know.
That sounds, I mean, yeah.
It's kind of a bonkers idea, but I'd like to try
A team that loses every series could still technically win.
Yeah, exactly. You could lose every game. You could just start, scoring goals or whatever. Anyways, game 4 is inbound here as NRG took a decisive win. Holy cow, they had 17 shots. 17 shots in this game.
Now, it seemed like Timmy might have had some struggles there.
Sure.
He did go maybe AFK, internet problems, whatever it might be. But, they had to continue on with the game. It seemed like after that, they just kind of fell apart. They were probably frustrated that a goal went in. It was tied up 1-1 when that goal went in.
Sure.
Fireburner got a kickoff goal when Timmy wasn't able to go up for the kickoff. They probably weren't aware that Timmy wasn't around or couldn't move or whatever the situation might have been. But again, stuff like that just kind of happens. It's the pro and con of online play. Sometimes you got to work with it. I know that if there's any team that really doesn't tilt, Selfless is one of them.
Yeah.
This team, I mean, if there's any team I can really say has been consistent all season, it's pretty much been them.
The one thing we have seen from them, we saw this in the qualifiers of Season 2, was that this team can have issues of pressure when they're in a situation where they're really where their backs are up against the wall. Their backs are not in any way up against the wall here, but it is the last game of their regular season play, and they might be feeling the need to really step it up here. So hopefully they're not letting any sort of technical errors that have happened on their ends affect their play, and they can move forward and take us to game 5 as NRG is now on match point. If they get the win here, if NRG gets the win here, they will have the win over Selfless. If Selfless can take the win, we'll go to that game 5 for one last game of North American Rocket League before we wrap it up for the day. Miho going to try early on. His shot goes wide. So it bounces around the corner. Oh dear. Garrett G just barely getting the touch he needs. That goal nearly went in. Timmy now with another shot. So much pressure as Selfless stepping into high gear here in the beginning of Game 4. So they have had so many shots already.
I mean, this is our last chance opportunity to actually bring it to NRG and try and bring this to a Game 5. As you said, if NRG take this game, they will have the series.
Fireburner to Garrett. Connecting on the pass, but it goes to the corner. Now Fireburner to try. Once again, gets a demo. Garrett G. Looks to set up Jacob here. Started to move up, but was not happy with the loft he got. He'll fall back. Garrett G's shot is wide. Timmy will clear it away. Now Fireburner looking for the soft touch out towards Jacob and Garrett. Jacob will turn this one around. Pops it past Miho and Dapper. Garrett in, will take a shot. It goes down, but does not go in. Fireburner lofts it back into the boxes. Jacob in, there he goes. The 1-2-3 from NRG, and they score.
Wait, Blink, how many crossbar shots are we going to see today?
About 350, I believe.
About 350. Fireburner getting that second touch, and Jacob securing the goal. But so many shots are just off target. Every single drive, we see a crossbar smack.
It's as you all have said, that the shots that don't go in are usually the best passes.
That's true.
So it's okay. It does work out there for them, but you do kind of feel like, man, you have the open net like Garrett G had. Take the shot. Don't put it on the crossbar. Be accurate there. Jacob able to finish that one off, and NRG now has the lead. If they can hold on to this, they take the win. But what was this from Selfless? The loft down to Dapper, and he ties up the game.
This had to be a mega mind game from Timmy. I think he ran out of boost altogether, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make it look like I'm still going for this guy. We're just gonna fake it till we make it." It dropped right in front of him, and Dapper actually up incredibly fast for that. We'll tie up the game, 1-1 with 3 minutes left.
We got a game carpet here. So they're gonna move this one up and down. Goes into the blue corner, immediately onto the orange backboard. That's how fast these players can move this ball. It's Timmy now. Towards the backboard, Garrett will play this one down to Timmy, who was waiting. He's got an opportunity to finish this one off, but Jacob interferes, gets in the way. Here comes the follow-up. 2 players miss from Selfless, but 2 players go up for the goal. They're going for the block as well. On NRG, they will not be able to get the quick counterplay. And Jacob now gets outplayed by Timmy. He is now deep in the blue. He will rotate back. It's Fireburner and Garrett G. Bottom the time, and now they will look to see if they can push this one back out. They get it past Dapper, and here comes Garrett G and Jacob. On the wall, Timmy plays it past him again. Seen some excellent 1v1 play here from Timmy J. Oh my goodness, that was an easy top 5 play if that one had gone in, the Fireburner to Jacob connection. But
that went a top 5 of RLCS altogether.
Absolutely. I was going to comment on the way I've been seeing Timmy's 1v1 skills. He is making excellent decisions as far as 50-50s go, and then as far as dribbling is concerned. He's been playing out of his mind this game, or this series. I'd like to see if they can make it result again in some more goals here for Selfless. He comes in to try and take the shot, but that time Jacob gets the block, saves it away. Selfless keeps the pressure on thanks to Miho, but Garrett will try to play this one past Dapper.
He lost too much momentum. He could not follow that up, sadly. And now we're going to see if Fireburner can put this up to Jacob. Well, Jacob's just going to retreat.
It looked like Fireburner had lost control.
Yeah.
But then managed to put it all the way into the corner. Oh, and Garrett G can. Hey, what a setup! It goes in!
Oh.
This was beautiful from Garrett to give the lead back to NRG.
This is just contesting at your best. He knew it would get pushed down. He read his opponent so well. Placed his car underneath the ball to get the 50-50, contesting it, winning it in his favor. And the speed of Fireburner to come up for that.
I don't know if he could have had a more beautiful pass by himself.
Oh, no, that actually helped him out.
Yeah, what a way to use the defender to your advantage and give the lead back to NRG. As they look to hold on, look to finish this off. Timmy gets bumped in net by Fireburner. Jacob comes in, but Dapper right there alongside him, not allowing him to have the free shot on their loose net. Timmy will play that one over towards Fireburner. He plays it up to Jacob. Looks for the touch, the soft upside down touch that only Jacob is capable of. Fireburner puts it out into the middle. Dapper, nice read to put it underneath Garrett. Jacob will play this one off his own backboard. That's the sort of plays that I would never encourage anybody to try in their solo queue games.
Oh, nope.
But Jacob can easily pull off those sorts of saves.
I mean, it was hitting it to his backboard and then knowing he'd also get the follow-up. Because the first touch, the angle he had, was terrible. It was going to put it right back into the middle. But he knew he'd follow up and get the second touch to push it out to the side.
Oh, what a setup from Garrett. Can Jacob finish this one off? He will. He's got the speed and the pace. It's a 2-goal game. We're in the final minute. NRG's looking to run away with the series.
They are really starting to tear this up. And again, Garrett with another contest going in his favor. That was a pinch off of Timmy, I believe, who was coming up to try and push that down towards their middle. But instead, Garrett G positioning his car to push that past the defense, giving the Cobb himself a nice, easy goal. 2 up right now.
It's been beautiful to watch Garrett G use his opponents to his advantage in this game. As he's been able to bounce everything off of them and give it to his teammates for an opportunity to score. That's 2 goals in a row now. 2 goals in a row.
It's like the Rocket League version of stop hitting yourself.
Why are you doing it? And Garrett G showing he can take some shots of his own. That one going wide, but quite a laser beam. This will drop down with 10 seconds remaining, down by 2. It's Garrett G alone in the corner with the ball. He'll play that one past 2 players, and as this clock counts down, it is NRG who has secured the win here over Selfless. Selfless will end the season 4-3. A very, very solid performance from them, but they will need some help next week to make that top 2.
NRG redeeming themselves from the loss of the previous series, what we all would probably consider an upset, losing to Genesis. We probably, I mean, that's what, like about 6th seed to 2nd seed, about what we're putting them right now. So pretty unexpected to see that coming back to Selfless. Now, that is the last time we here are going to watch Selfless in league play. I'm a little sad because I'm with you. I'm a big fan of Selfless. This is their RLCS debut, and they're doing phenomenally.
They are.
But that doesn't mean they're out. They actually have a really good record. I think Gibbs knows a little bit closer as to where that's going to settle them. But they're going to be watching next week just as intently as we are.
Oh, we are. We certainly are. We'd like to know, Gibbs, what does this mean for Selfless? What does this mean for NRG? Back to the desk.
Yeah, Gibbs, why don't you just break it all down for us right now?
I did a little bit of computation during that. I think this is right, but Selfless, the best bet for them to try for a top 2 is a 4-way tie at 4-3, or a 5-way tie at 4-3, but they cannot get it. Because no matter what, whoever's in those spots, they will finish the head-to-head tiebreakers, usually 2-2, sometimes 1-2, depending on tiebreak. They cannot finish top 2, to my knowledge, as of right now. So I think they're done for top 2, say. But NRG,
I love it.
They needed this win to even clinch playoffs. As of now, NRG was not in the playoffs just yet, and they come out really strong here. Fireburner, shaky start for sure in games 1 and 2, but they all kind of picked up the pace on that squad.
Yeah, and you said it right there. Fireburner very slow to start up there, and it's a real big problem for NRG because a lot of their offense requires him to be a part of it. And as soon as he got himself going, though, the rest of the team got going. And you can kind of tell what the moment was that just made the difference here. And that was when Timmy went AFK. As soon as that happened, Selfless did not look as dominant as they previously were. And they were waiting all the time for NRG to come towards them. And NRG, you give them space, they'll take it.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate that Timmy went AFK there. I thought you were going to actually say something different, and I was going to joke. I'm like, no, it's actually the AFK. Because it really was. It was a close game, and that it was game 2, 1-1. And then he just goes AFK, and they get an easy goal. Then they get one more, then another face-off goal. There's a lot of face-off goals for NRG in that game to keep that momentum going for them. Huge win for them here, though. Selfless, I don't think they can make top 2, so they'll be sitting at home just seeing who they're going to play. But we haven't seen the last of them. They have made playoffs already, so we will definitely at least see them in 2-3 weeks from now.
Yes, Selfless is done for regular season. We're going to see NRG again next week, and they had to bounce back today because they lost their first match and then ended up winning there. So what are your thoughts on NRG, guys? Able to bounce back and then looking forward to next week where they are going to be competing for top 2.
Yeah, extremely important game for them. Now, if they just go 2-0 next week, they don't have to worry about anyone else. They will finish top 2, so they know what they have to do, but they had to win here first because if they would have fell again, then if they would have went 0-2, they might not have made playoffs. Again, I'm not really sure because there's a lot of computations for that, but they needed this win badly. I mean, both teams do. Like, at this point, everyone needs a win badly, and it just comes down to who plays better.
And with that loss, Take 3 have gone from to fighting for playoffs. They are now within 1 loss towards G2 or NRG away from tying that one up. And I still believe that they've got to play against one of those next week.
Yeah,
so that could give them a head-to-head.
Yeah, same with Take 3. Like, if they go 2-0, then they make top 2. If G2 goes 2-0, they make top 2. So a lot of these teams know what they have to do next week. They just have to win, and then we'll get top 2.
And again, what's important is bottom 2 are out. top 6 are involved in playoffs, and that's bracket play, right? So ultimately, this all is going to come down to bracket play. And that being said, I'd like to get your thoughts on any teams you guys think would excel within that format, particularly Selfless. You know, they're done. They're done with the regular season. So at the bare minimum, they're going to be participating in that bracket play. How do you see them faring, or how do you think their mentality is going into that, along with any other teams that you think might excel within that format?
So, of course, the playoffs, you lose once, you're out. It's a best-of-7 format. So we know Selfless will be in those quarterfinals where they have to win one best-of-7 to make the World Championships. Honestly, I don't want to be them right now because they started out 4-0. They've lost 3 in a row, so the confidence might be lacking at this point. They do have a week off, actually 2 weeks off, because we take a week off before we go to the playoffs. So they have time. And as we saw here, we had basically 2 weeks off because Mid-Season Mayhem was last week, and everything changed. So it's so hard to predict right now. Everyone is so close.
Yeah, it's a case of it's very likely in that very first round that they might have to take on a team like Atelier, like Genesis, those high-paced teams that Selfless really struggle against at times. So they need to really just look towards this now and just go, okay, focus on who we get and really play to like learn how these teams play, understand how to deal with that high pace, because it's something that they've struggled with. They can't afford to struggle with it. They need to make LAN.
And then one big question mark they have is, of course, Timmy can only play on the weekends. You have, what is that, 4 days of practice?
He had to go AFK a little bit there.
Exactly, he had to go AFK, but that's like 4 days of practice for them, while you have Pluto, who's a very good player as well. They know that they have all this time.
Pluto.
Pluto, sorry, Pluto.
Get it right.
Yeah.
So they have a lot
Rats.
of time to maybe switch it up and be like, hey, Pluto, let's try and practice during the week. We have 5 days of practice with him, 2 days of practice with Timmy. Let's see which one works better, because it all comes down to that one best-of-7.
Now, this was the last match of the day. What an amazing day, truly. Awesome day for Rocket League. Thank you all for joining us the entire way. Remember, Europe's tomorrow, but let's reflect a little bit on this day, as far as any particular moment that you guys, a favorite moment for you, or anything that you particularly enjoyed seeing out of the matches today.
Best moment had to be the 3 pixel off of a shot from Rizzo. So close, and that's why I love that rule of the ball has to touch the ground at 0 seconds for the game to end. And a lot of people are like, well, why don't you make it if it's in the goal crease? The game doesn't end. No, I love moments like that where he was pixels away from scoring, but honestly, he was also pixels away from just shooting and not hitting the crossbar. And it's a game of centimeters right now between these teams, and we saw it today.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against. If I was to pick a number 2 moment, it was nice for the rarest thing ever to happen of we got to see Set to Destroy actually play the game. So that was nice and fun.
Yeah, we were pretty harsh on them, but it was actually really fun to see them.
Like they have
break out.
actual talent. They didn't play this season.
Yeah, they made it through the qualifiers in the upper bracket, and they pulled off a lot of upsets there. So we'll see if they can come back next season. But we have an Old Spice Player of the Week. Don't smell yourself short. Can you guess who it is? Can you guys guess who it is? You know who it is. I'll give you a hint.
Don't ruin the illusion.
I'll give you a hint. I'm gonna look at the chat. I talked to him today.
How many people did he talk to?
That's a good
Two.
question.
He talked to 2.
All right, well,
Right,
it wasn't
so we have to
Kronovi.
break
It's not
it down.
Kronovi.
No.
Okay, so let's take away
So that's
that
one more. Anyone in the chat get it? Anyone at all?
I think it's because his father's not watching.
Don't smell yourself short. Congratulations to Espion, Player of the Week. Very nicely played today. And we talk a lot about Espion as far as momentum is concerned, consistency within the league. Take 3 didn't get off to the greatest start. A lot of people saying Espion in the chat now. You're too late. I'm sorry, you're too late. But, you know, it seems like Take 3 really turned around their team and really came out to play this week. And I'm excited to see how they play next week and potentially into the playoffs.
Well, everyone went like 1-1 this week at best, basically. Take 3 goes 2-0, a team that a lot of people thought they would probably 0-2 today and then be basically out of the playoff race. But Espion coming up big, scored the most goals in their first series. They only scored 6, but a lot of that was defense. And he had 7 assists in their follow-up series as well. They took out G2. Huge performance there. And we always talk about he plays with confidence. In both series, he scored the first goal in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, Espion getting a hold of that, it really just shows how good Take 3 did, because Espion only plays well if the team around him plays well. If that is going wrong, he is a floating striker. That is his role on that team. If he is not getting those opportunities given to him, he can't do anything with it.
And plus, we have not many players actually have been to back-to-back lands for North America, but Espion is one of them, and now he's in a good spot to make it to 3 lands in a row. So he's going to be looking for that for sure. And they have to be so happy because this was a hectic week for them, a really tough week, and they pulled it out.
Yeah, great to see Espeon play so well. Also, I saw him throw a heart down in the chat. So, hi Espeon. Everyone wave to Espeon. He's watching the stream. That's your Old Spice Player of the Week. Don't smell yourself short. We have standings for you from North America. And Gibbs is going to break it all down right now.
So, honestly, playoff scenarios I haven't gotten over every single one. I gave you a little bit of taste, but NRG and G2, they control their own destinies. Take 3 controls their own destiny for a top 2 spot. Atelier, I believe, does not. They might.
No.
No, they don't, because they don't play either G2 or NRG.
No, they don't.
Yes, so they don't control their own destiny. That's the only one for the top 2. Selfless, they cannot make top 2 at this point, which is what we're really focusing on. But of course, we have 2 through 7, or even 1 through 7 to an extent. Well, teams 3 through 7, I guess, are fighting for that last playoff spot. Right now, we have Denial at 2 and 3. They didn't play this week, and everyone caught up to them. We have Genesis kind of battling down there as well. Take 3 could still fall down there. Atelier might fall down there. It's craziness, but only 6 of these teams can make it. Top 2 automatic bid to World Championships.
Yep.
So that's what everyone is going to be trying for next week. The only team that we know that can't, Set to Destroy, they're out, and Selfless.
Next week is going to be absolutely epic. Make sure you tune in next Saturday, as that's when all the North American matches will be happening, and we'll have a better picture of what the World Championships will look like and what the regional playoffs will look like. That being said, we're not done with Rocket League for the weekend. That's just North America for Saturday. So let's talk about tomorrow, where the European teams are going to be in action as league play continues for that region. Here is the schedule. Flipside Tactics starting out the day with 2 matches.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge. Flipside Tactics, they've been off for a little while now. They've also looked a little bit off in the way that they've been playing, and they've got that big match right there. Gale Force, they're 3-0 team, undefeated right now, but yet relatively untested.
And talking about playoff scenarios, Europe, it's anyone's game right now. There's only one team that could possibly clinch a World Championship spot now this weekend, and that is Gale Force. They have to go 2-0, but Flipside and Northern both have to lose all their games as well. And that's the only way that we get a World Championship spot locked this weekend, so it's very unlikely.
Look out for Europe. All that action is happening tomorrow. Same place, twitch.tv/Rocket League starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. Oh my gosh, that's early. But we're going to be up, so you should be up too. That being said, if you're looking for something else to do that's not weekend related, that's Rocket League. Twitch.tv/Rocket League on Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Look, it says it right there. RLCS Overtime, where all the conversation is analysis and in-depth discussion and some funny segments here and there about the Rocket League Championship Series.
It's going to be a lot of serious talk this week because playoff scenarios are going to be really hard to follow. So we're going to try and break it down as simple as possible on this Overtime show, but honestly, like Shogun said the other day, we're going to need a spider diagram. I think we should just take down the screen and actually just put up like a post-it board and just have ropes and go from team to team.
I'm down.
And we'll take a picture of it and be like, here, figure it out. Because
that sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
We're going to make it happen. Thanks, Gibbs. By the way, it's not just North America and Europe that will be participating at the World Championships. We got the OCE region competition happening. RLCS for those guys starts at 6 p.m. Pacific today, which is approximately an hour and 26 minutes from now. Go to Throwdown TV. So I think that's twitch.tv/Throwdown TV.
Yeah, they play 16 games this weekend. Lots of games being played there. They're playing a little bit catch up, trying to catch up to our league play. And again, that all results in the 8 teams playing the league play. Comes down to playoffs of 4. Top 2 go to the World Championships.
And the World Championships, they have been announced. Ladies and gentlemen, North America, Europe, OCE will be the 3 regions involved, happening in Los Angeles. As you can see, the Wiltern. So mark your calendars, June 2nd through the 4th. Try to be there. Say hi to Gibbs and maybe Giblet.
I don't think he's coming this time.
What?
He went for the Europe trip. I don't know about this. Well, maybe he'll come because he's really a big fan of E3 and it's the next weekend, so he'll probably go to that.
Cool. So, are you guys excited for the Wiltern?
I'm really excited. Like, I've seen some pictures. I hear the crowd is pretty cool. I hear some desk action's going to be happening somewhere. Cool. So,
I hope so.
I'm ready to just throw t-shirts at people. That's what I'm ready for.
It's going to be a ton of fun as the Rocket League Championship Series continues. But I believe that does it for today. Guys, any final thoughts before we sign off?
I'm tired, and it's going to be a long night, and playoff scenarios. I'll be probably posting some tweets about it to figure this all out. There's going to be plenty of articles on Reddit, too, so check it out.
Yeah, NA, thank you so much. We thought you were getting a little predictable, and then you kind of exploded. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I love it. What an amazing day for Rocket League. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That's going to do it for the broadcast of North American League play. Remember, tune in tomorrow. European League play continues at 9 a.m. Same place, twitch.tv/Rocket League. We'll see you there.